Hello everyone, good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. This is me, 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 from Pageant Empress, and I have four special guests from around the universe, literally. So we'll be doing a recap of the recent Miss Universe Prumlay competition. So first of all, good morning from Australia. Hello Peter from
Good
Pageant Institute.
morning. Hi, I'm so excited to be here and I'm excited to be with all of you. I'm probably the oldest here as well. So I feel like a pageant elder.
But you're very knowledgeable, which is very important. So you could teach the children who are watching it.
I teach the children. No, I'm super excited because I love connecting with you guys.
And the second guest I have is from Manila, Philippines. Hello, fashionizana, Mr. Gian Lasala. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. It's only George who can make me do this. Sleep in 3 hours after preliminary and then wake up to my live feed. So sorry cap everyone, mabuhay and hola. Hi, it's nice to see everyone like
Hola.
Luis. Nice meeting you, Peter. Serrano's a fellow Filipino pageant enthusiast. So hi.
The third guest I have is all the way from
Montreal.
Toronto?
Montreal.
Montreal. I almost said Toronto. Montreal, Canada. Louis Putelis.
Hi,
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
So happy to be here.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to collab with you guys. I always learn so much, and I'm always excited to share.
Okay.
Yes. And last but not the least, we have Oscar, all the way from Florida, United States. So good afternoon as well for you. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's nighttime in the US.
We should be the one doing this in the evening here in Asia, George. Just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, half awake. All right. No, we should have done it at midnight after we finished watching the film.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be fun. Anyway, so let's get right down to the business. So I actually gave a fun assignment to my friends. So we actually gave scores out of 30. So we have top 10 list, standouts in evening gown as well as the swimsuit. So we'll be talking about the girls who stood out. Let's start in swimsuit. So Peter, let's go through you first because you are the most experienced here. Who is your best in swimsuits?
Belgium. Belgium was my best in swimsuit. I thought she had amazing presence, and every time she came out, I just couldn't take my eyes off her. The girl had presence. I had to give her 10, 10, 10 and everything. Of course, this is me as an armchair judge. I don't know what her interview was like, but it is a beauty pageant. So I am basing it purely on stage and how she looked, and the emotions that she brought out of me. And Belgium was a beautiful surprise.
Mhm.
I agree. And she has an incredible, inspiring story. Let's not forget, if anyone has not gone through her Miss Universe bio, you should definitely check it out. I have a feeling she's going to make it all the way in the final night. So I completely agree.
I hope so. I think it'll be very exciting to have a country like Belgium be up
Yeah.
there. It'll
I
be a
agree.
good change.
Yeah, for once.
Mm.
And a little bit biased because my sister's actually living in Belgium for like
Oh, wow.
almost 5 years. So I'm pretty sure she's happy to see this.
Right.
What about
Right.
you? Let's go to Gian. Who is your? It could be in
My
any
number
order. by
one.
the way.
Yeah, I am
Can be any
very
order.
happy with Colombia. Every time I look at the raw footages of Thai sashes, she just really like pops out of me. Like she gives me life. And then France, I got so surprised with her.
Yep.
I don't mind her winning as well because she's so beautiful. Like her pictures don't do it justice. And when I saw her on stage last night,
Yep.
or early morning,
Mhm.
earlier, so she was so bubbly. Even if like she looks like this, this bubbly girl from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, but
Oh,
she is so beautiful. Yeah, you guys know my age. So then India was also a
yes,
revelation.
yes.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Yep.
and I'm also proud of my homegirl Kenya. Kenya. She
Yep.
was so on fire.
Super
I
elegant.
know that Roshanara is so sweet because when we did the fittings and the conversations, she was like, "Oh, hi Gia, blah blah blah. It's so nice to meet you, sweet girl." But on stage last night, she was a different person. So
Right.
Yeah, so I hope that she did well on her interview, and I really can't wait. Because if she makes it a top 10, she'd be the first queen that I dressed up to make it on the top 10 or top 16.
Let's
Exciting.
I wouldn't be
manifest that.
surprised to see her there.
Manifesting.
Wait, exactly. Sounds great. We have very similar lists. What about you, Lewis? So it can be in any order. It doesn't have to be your best. I was actually going to tell you guys to save your best until the end, but that's fine.
Damn it.
I'll save mine for the last.
Yeah, I'm gonna save mine till the end. What about you, Lewis? Who
Okay,
stood out?
so for me personally, one that really stood out was Bahamas. I felt like I really loved her energy
Interesting.
Okay.
on stage. I felt like she really had, like a lot of confidence. And for me, that's so important when you're doing, especially the swimsuit presentation. Another one that I really loved was Nepal as well. I felt like she did a
She's got an
really-
amazing walk.
wasn't it
amazing
amazing? I was
walk.
not expecting
Amazing
that.
walk.
And I followed her national competition, and I feel like the way that she evolved from the national competition up until now, it's crazy. I feel like she's been working so hard, and I definitely noticed her. Yes.
Great. What about you, Oscar? Any standout?
Yeah, I have a few. I have to agree with John. I really love France. I think Clemence is a very special woman, and I feel like I know that it's unfortunate that she got COVID, but I feel like it's almost playing in her favor because she's so grateful to still be competing that she is literally just giving it her best. And I was so happy to see her on stage. I really, really love France. She has a special place in my heart. India was absolutely spectacular.
Yep.
I mean, to be honest, I know that we said we would give some of our best towards the end, but I've got to say, I think that she looked like a Miss Universe, to be honest. Like she looks stunning. And then one that surprised me, and even though I'm not super into her beauty, I'm not taking away the fact that she's beautiful, but one that I didn't really see coming was Panama. I think that her runway was very, very solid. Physically, I don't think she's the most beautiful one in the competition. She's still obviously a beautiful woman, but her swimsuit performance, I think, was really, really strong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
She had good energy.
yeah,
Very
you know what?
good energy.
Interesting you said that because I actually have Panama in one of my best in swimsuit because yes, we could always work on the presentation, but for me, her walk, I said she has great energy, very positive, and she definitely surprised me with her performance. I was not expecting this level of professionalism from Panama. Second girl who stood out, which none of you guys said, was Dominican Republic. I like how self-aware she was of her body, and even though she was recently crowned, I think she was one of the newer girls, right? I like that she came and I said thank you for arriving because I'm gonna be honest, I was not that happy with the swimsuit until she came, Dominican Republic. So I was pretty impressed by her. Anyone else? Let's see.
Yeah, Dominican Republic. What is she? Is her dad from Israel?
We don't know I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
the
did
whole
you guys
story.
hear that when they were talking about her background and all of that? Did she have a connection with Israel through her family?
I believe that her father was in the army,
Right.
or some sort of military force in Israel. And I know that she hadn't seen him in a really long time, and
Interesting.
I think she did get to see him when she came to Israel, but I'm not entirely sure.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't really know the story. That's just what I think.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
So who should we start with now? Should we go the other way around? So Oscar, anyone
Okay.
else who stood out?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just going to give you my 9, and then I'll finish with my best, I think.
Okay.
Just to recap, France, India, Colombia, Panama. Absolutely love Vietnam. I think she's just absolutely beautiful. Paraguay, which she performed as I expected she would perform. Venezuela, although I do believe that whoever did her makeup wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't the most favorable makeup.
Yep.
But I think that her performance was solid. Belgium was one of them, and I'm not biased, but I think that best in swimsuit was Puerto Rico. Just my opinion. I think she just gave me so much energy. I mean, she's like India. She gave me a Miss Universe. She gave me a good performance. And I'm not going to lie, I was watching the preliminary and I was really sleepy. Like I was almost falling asleep.
I think
Because
all of us were.
I don't
I'm
want
so
to be
sleepy.
rude, but I just didn't find it like super exciting like other years. Like I just feel like, okay, I don't know. And I thought that I would like the stage more, but it's just okay. Like it's better than last year for sure, but it's not like Miss Grand International, which we may not even be talking about. But it just
they're watching. Trust me, they're watching.
Well, hi, Noah. Anyways, it just wasn't super exciting. But I will say that I think that India and Puerto Rico were absolutely out of this world, like knockouts.
I agree. Go on,
Yeah,
Jen.
but just to add though with you, Oscar, the lighting was better because like my gown sparkled right when it came out, and I'm like, I'm so happy. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Lewis, any other standouts you have? You could say a whole list if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my whole list. Well, now that you guys have been talking about her, I really feel like Belgium was a standout. And on a second thought, she did not make my list, but I'm hesitating. But I'll keep my list the way it is.
Okay.
But I just want to acknowledge, that she is really doing a good job. So from 10 to number 1, I have Bahamas, Vietnam, Venezuela, Nepal, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Chile, Paraguay, Puerto Rico, and India. I think that honestly it was very hard to pick because it really depends of what you're looking for and what's your preference when it comes to each one of the candidates, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like each one of them has been putting so much work, and I've tried, as much as possible. There are so many candidates in the competition, but as much as possible, I try to also look at them individually on their national competitions for those of them who competed instead of being appointed. But I feel like everyone really showed up, and the fact that they had to do swimsuit, evening gown, and then national costume on the same day is just like mind blowing. So props to the girls.
Absolutely.
I agree as well that the production it's a step on the right direction compared to last year. Especially the hosting was a little smoother, than last year. The lighting was much better, and the stage, although like we might not be like a fan of like the stage or something, but I feel like they have more space to like walk and move.
Right.
It's less than last year, right?
Yeah.
I think I just build myself up too much with the stage.
Yeah.
Because I think that the best runway stage in the history of Miss Universe is 2018.
Yeah.
That runway was just mind blowing. And this stage is, like I said, a step in the right direction. I don't know. I just liked it less than I thought. It may be different, obviously, with the production of the final night rather than the preliminary. Maybe they didn't use all their resources to really light up the stage the way it'll be on the final night.
Yeah.
But step in the right direction. Did you guys? I know that we're gonna give extras, but did you guys have any disappointments? Anybody that you thought was gonna do incredible and just kind of let you down?
I have a lot.
Yeah, maybe later.
There were a few, if you can be honest.
Yeah. In the most respectful way, we're being respectful.
Yes,
Well,
we are. Yes,
if I
we are.
may-
But I'm old and I'm way past caring about what other people think these days.
That's a big mood.
Cancel culture cannot get you anymore. Well, if I may, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed at Miss Mexico's performance.
Yes.
Obviously,
Oh
she
God,
is,
yes.
trying to get the crown for a second year in a row. I feel like she tried, but she had like some unfortunate events happening. So I think it's out of her control, but it's unfortunate. Miss Colombia, I love her. I love this girl, but I feel like the fire is not there. I don't know if she's feeling insecure, if she's like hesitating or what's going on, but
Okay.
she's doing a
You're
great job. But I was
I had Colombia on my list as well, Lewis, and until Puerto Rico came out, and every time she did, I crossed Colombia off.
Same.
I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I just did a
Yeah,
hair
you know,
flip.
I would totally
Oscar.
like write her
I'm
down.
kidding.
I was like, "Yep,
Colombia's
like
Colombia,
something
Colombia,
for
no
you.
problem." And as soon as Puerto Rico came in, I was like, "Sorry, Colombia, out you go."
You know what, guys? I have to completely disagree with you, all of you. I thought Colombia delivered. That's my girl.
Me too.
Okay.
Do not
For
come for
me,
Colombia
Alright,
for me.
alright.
I actually was very happy with both of her performance. So let me just give you my 9. Well, I have 11, and I kind of cheated. I have 11. I don't have 10.
That is cheating.
Yeah. So in
Ah,
my
there goes Lewis. Is like, "Nah,
Lewis
I'm
is
out."
pissed.
Loses bye.
Okay. So my number 10, I have a tie. I have a tie between Philippines and Paraguay. I honestly, Paraguay was doing okay because I had such a high expectation from her because we all know she's an international model. So
Right.
she did deliver in swimsuit. And for Philippines, I said she walks like a warrior princess. So I like that she had a command, a presence in swimsuit. So those are my top 10th place tie. In number 9, I have Costa Rica, which I already talked about.
Mhm.
I really liked her walk. I thought she was just had such a presence because let's not forget she came right after Colombia, one of the best schools. So
Yeah.
I thought she did quite well. Next up, I have France in number 8, and I said despite all the hard work she had to go through, the isolation, and I'm pretty sure mentally it must really mess up with her, but she delivered today. So I was really happy with the performance in swimsuit. Panama, I kind of talked about her. Like I said, unexpected. Dominican Republic is number 6. I have Vietnam. I said, wow, this girl, she may be the last girl to perform, but she was so sexy. I loved the stage presence, and I really like this. Okay, I know this is a bit dramatic maybe for some, but I really like when her hair was flicking through when she was walking. I thought it was so sexy. I loved it.
She
It was
is.
very Venezuela in 2018. I was getting. I'm not sure if you guys
Yes.
agree, but I loved.
I think that was done on purpose.
Could
If
be.
you
But
look at her gown and her hair.
Yeah, I really liked it. India, let's not forget India. Her turns, I know a lot of girls try to do the turns, but I feel like only India and a few other girls were successful at actually achieving
Yeah.
a slow motion turns. I said she was radiating. I loved her energy, and I can tell she was actually having a good time on the stage, which is super important. So I gave her really high. I gave her 29 out of 30.
Wow.
Spain, I really enjoyed her walk. Super sexy, effortless, and yeah, I think she got it. I think she's a total package. Of course, Puerto Rico is my number 2. Okay, guys, I know we have to be honest here today. I was not that happy with a lot of girls' performance until I said Puerto Rico. It was a huge gap, okay? There were some girls I
It
liked,
was, yeah.
and there was a big gap when I said Puerto Rico. And I said, thank you for saving the competition. I was waiting for someone to actually slay the swimsuit competition. That was Puerto Rico. Hands down, Puerto Rico delivered. Thank you. If you're watching it, thank you. And I wanted to keep up the energy for the finals. And my best in
She will.
swimsuit goes to... Of course, Oscar. My best in swimsuit goes to Colombia. I said by far, this was the best performance in the swimsuit competition. Flawless walk, captivating, and remember the last key I said, star quality. She has that. For me, she has a star quality, and yeah, incredible. So that's my top 10. What about you, Jian?
Oh yeah. Before I even say my top 10, because I may have the weirdest choice for swimsuits. So,
Go on.
It's okay.
Okay, so here's how I judge it. I look at the face first. If somebody pops out, and then
Yeah,
proportions.
All right.
And then
love it. Okay.
for me as a designer, proportions are so important. And okay, I don't want to mention this because I don't want to body shame anyone. And the next is the energy.
Yeah.
And
energy.
particular with the legs, the proportion, the length of the legs, how it, the thigh gap. I've been sharing that to my brothers, and yeah, that's just how I judge it. So my number 10 is Puerto Rico, undeniably, because I scored everyone so close, 10, 10, 10, 9.98.
I didn't do decimals. I didn't do decimals.
So that's how I score everyone. So Puerto Rico is a number 10. I love her skin color. Among all the exotic beauties, she's the most beautiful for me. I just love her face so much. And then Belgium, I love her styling, first of all. Her swimsuit really matched her skin tone, which is so important. And then, I don't know with you guys, but I love Portugal. She's one of the Europeans that look like a Latina. Of course, there are
She did.
Portugal is technically Latina, but
Yeah.
she's very beautiful, and I think they're one of the Europeans that will make a surprise. And then, but before I'll continue, there's really not a single girl that really popped out like in a 2020 edition. Like we fell in love with a particular contestant, and it's easier to judge now because not everyone is my friend, and like friends are like last time. Right? So the number 7, Kenya. I'm so happy. I'm not being biased here, but she delivered those legs. You know, she has a very tiny waist, beautiful hips, and long legs. So yeah.
Yeah, she's
And then,
gorgeous.
yes, thank you, Oscar. And number 6, we have Spain. Yeah, Spain was just so amazing. And then number 5 is Italy. She was just gorgeous, very charming. I love her curls.
Yeah.
I know it's not perm, I know it's natural hair, but she was just very beautiful. And then Bolivia.
Yeah.
She's one of my sentimental favorites, aside from the fact that she followed me back on Instagram. Hi, Nahema. Thank you so much. And she's really sexy. I love her proportions and her skin tone, and she's also very
Yeah,
beautiful.
Bolivia looks like
Yep.
Puerto Rico from Supranational.
Yes, and
Oh, yeah.
actually, she's a
I see it.
supermodel. She's like a supermodel prototype for me, like Bolivia.
You know who she reminds me of? Stephanie Del Valle, Miss World 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's what she reminds
Oh,
me of.
yeah.
Okay.
I see it.
Only
I
with
see
the
it.
more prominent features.
She almost looks Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah. And then,
Of course.
but before I mention my top 3, since we talked about the stage, what I like about the stage right now, aside from the good lighting, is that they had more time. I mean, more length of the runway, but it was just
Yeah.
circular.
Right.
And I think they started walking from at least like a meter from the backstage so that they can have good energy when they go out. So I just hope that they did not do the stairs, because
Yes.
that was
Yes.
Unfortunately.
horrifying for the
Oh,
gown.
no.
We
No,
haven't
no.
gotten to gown, but I have to
There's
say
no
that
gown.
very much disappointed me with
Yeah.
the stairs.
Yep.
Number 3 for me is India. She's so beautiful. She's like a living doll. If she was not sent to Miss Universe and was sent to Miss World, she would still win. If she was sent to Miss International, she would still win. So I won't be surprised if India will have their 3rd crown. And then France, I love her. She's like the kind of girl that I'd love to hang out with. Like, hey, can I bring you to Bible study? Can I bring you to church or what? She would be with me. And then number 1 would be Colombia. I love Colombia. When she came out, I'm like, oh wow, thank you so much for coming. Because you arrived and you made Miss Universe a little bit extra special. And some of the girls that I expected to deliver but did not, was Brazil. I was kind of disappointed. I don't know what happened, but they were supposed. How I wish they crowned the other winner. I mean, how I wish they crowned the first runner-up. I love the first runner-up a little bit. But anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to say that, because if you're already in Miss Universe, you have to like give your all. And
Right.
Sure.
who else did I expect to perform but did not? Yeah, I was just really sad for Brazil. I really thought that they were supposed to be in that lane, in that swimsuit lane. So, yeah, and one of the most charming also was Equatorial Guinea. I forgot to mention Chile. Chile was also really
Yes. Yeah.
good.
Chile looks very sweet.
Yeah, and Nepal. Props to whatever she did before coming to Miss Universe. Sujita, I'm so proud of her, right? George, Sujita did everything last night. So yeah, that's.
I gotta say that how I feel. I'm sorry to interrupt, but how Luis feels about Colombia with her energy being lower, that's how we feel about Brazil. I just was expecting a lot more, and we're gonna get to the evening gown eventually, but wow, was I disappointed. I was just expecting
me too.
something completely different.
Sad that Brazil did not somehow deliver, because they're always in that lane.
Yeah.
If we talk about swimsuit, it's Brazil. Brazil is always there, but I don't know what happened.
What did you talk about Brazil? She was actually on my predictions list, like my early favorites. She was my top two,
Mm-hmm.
and
Same.
now completely out of the top 10. I
Mhm.
feel like there was something off with that performance.
Yeah.
So go
She's a
Peter.
model. She's a model.
Yeah.
She's got great photos, and then you see her in person, you think,
Hmm.
I mean, I think she's a beautiful girl. I just maybe that's just not because you have to differentiate. Being a miss is very different than being a model.
Mhm.
So
True.
there are some girls that did more of a model walk, and then
Yeah.
others did more of a miss walk. And even though I appreciate a model walk, I'm watching a beauty pageant. I'm not watching a
Yeah.
runway show.
Correct.
So I want the pageantry. I want the turns. I want the hair flips. I want,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, she just didn't deliver. And maybe it's just she didn't have enough time after she won Miss Brazil. It's just unfortunate.
Right. What about you, Peter?
Right.
What do you thought about?
Well, look, I'll let me start off with the whole staging and the production side before I give you my countdown. Traditionally and historically, we kind of build it up, right? So we start off with the crappy preliminary stage from Supra, and then it kind of builds up, and then it gets better with Grand, and then the ultimate prelims would be Miss Universe. I can't help but feel as though we started with the crappy Supra prelims, and then we had an amazing prelims from Grand, and then it was a little bit disappointing with Miss Universe. So I think for me, I need to really remove myself and not compare what we just saw to what we
Yeah.
saw with Miss Grand, and really focus on the girl. So I tried to do that. And I don't know if it worked, but I tried real hard. So with my countdown, I've got Kenya as my number 10. I didn't expect Kenya to actually make my top 10, so it was a beautiful surprise with swimwear to have her there. My number 9 was France. Again, France too. I wasn't expecting to be in my top 10, but every time she came out, I couldn't help but smile. So I based my judging on their energy and the way that they carry themselves and their X factor. And when I define X factor is if I can't take my eyes off you, if you make me smile for whatever that reason is, you've got
Yep.
X factor as far as I'm
Mhm.
concerned.
Agreed.
And she had X factor. And my number 8 was Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, it's your fault that Colombia is not on my list.
Oh,
Whoa.
don't attack me,
Right?
please.
Every time you came out Puerto Rico, I crossed Colombia out.
You're about to
I-
start World War III.
right?
I'm
I
about to be
found-
the Laganja in the group. I feel very
Oh
attacked.
no.
You know what? I think it's because Colombia and Puerto Rico for me have very similar looks.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
And when they kind of stand next to each other, it's either one will bump the other off or you eliminate both. And I just think Puerto Rico came out fighting, and yeah, she just came out punching. Whereas Colombia, very elegant, but her energy levels and her X factor wasn't at the same level as Puerto Rico, for me anyway.
Mhm.
Um, uh, then after that, who was my number 7? Oh, Costa Rica. Costa Rica was my number 7. Costa Rica this year have been sending really beautiful girls to the pageants, and
Yep.
Costa Rica Grand is her beauty was just out of this world, and Costa Rica
Yep.
Universe now
Yes.
is right at that level. So I'm really excited about the Costa Ricans. Number 6 for me was Namibia. What a super model. I think
So
if
fresh.
IMG,
Yep.
yeah, if IMG was looking for someone that they could promote commercially at a fashion sense, and someone that they could put on a red carpet, Namibia ticks all of those boxes for me. Um, my number 5 is Paraguay. I think Paraguay is one of those girls that I would love to hate, but she has
She's
the
too
following.
perfect.
She's got the numbers. She's doing everything right on stage. I don't get her, but she's going to be in top 10.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
So she's my number 5. Number 4, you know what? I wish I could put her up higher, but I feel as though she's giving me more Miss World vibes than Universe India. I think if you put India in for Miss World, hands down, she'll win. I think she's giving me more of a Miss World than a Miss Universe vibe, but I won't be mad if she wins Miss Universe because I love her, love her. My number
Same.
3 is USA. For
Oh yeah.
a girl who had such short preparation time, USA delivered. She has experience in front of a camera, so she's incredibly telegenic. She knows her angles, she knows how to work the camera. That's her job. She's a performer, so I expected her to perform and bring the goods, and she did. My number 2 would be, who's my number 2? Spain was my number 2. She was sultry. She came out and
Yep.
she was just sex on legs. Oh gosh, yeah. Every time she came out, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need to have a drink of water." Um, and yeah, look, if Spain won, I won't be mad either. But my number 1, and I put her down as my number 1 because she's so unexpected, was Belgium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stunning
So
girl.
unexpected, so beautiful, so stunning, and she was such a surprise that every time she came out, I was like, "Yep, okay, put my book away, I'm done."
Yeah, she's very gorgeous.
I agree. And like I said before, people who do not know much about Belgium or the European countries, check out her Miss Universe bio. Like
Yeah.
if you actually read through her story, you're going to be a big fan
It's
of
incredible.
Miss Belgium. I cannot imagine like all the hardship she had to go. Remember, her father left her in the orphanage when she was 7. Imagine that, guys.
Yep.
She had to go to a completely different country, learn a complete different language, and to be brought up in a new surrounding. I cannot imagine how difficult it must be for her
Correct.
without a family. So for me,
Correct.
that was like, wow. That sounds like a Miss Universe story. If they
Yeah.
want to campaign for that, crown another
Exactly.
European,
Right.
I am not going to be surprised if that's Belgium because
Yeah.
physically stunning, great story, and I
Yep.
think she's a good speaker too. I haven't
She
really
is.
heard her speak, but I think she's a good speaker.
I think she
Talking-
presents well. I think
Yeah.
she presents really well.
I agree. Yeah.
I think in terms of notable mentions, Singapore reminded me of Halle Berry. She had
Yes,
a
the heck
very
yeah.
strong, she had a very strong Halle Berry look.
Yep.
And for those of you who are of my vintage, she's a little bit older. Argentina reminded me of this, a model from the 90s, Shalom Harlow. It's like, so if you guys don't know who Shalom Harlow is, look her up. She's got such a beautiful vintage look to her.
Yeah.
Ooh,
She does look like a 90s supermodel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
I
90s
agree.
model, and
Yeah.
she probably had one of the best runways in swimwear as well. So if you guys kind of look back on it and you look at Argentina, that girl can walk the stage. Oh my goodness, amazing. Probably not the kind of look that I'm looking for this kind of competition, but Shalom Harlow, model.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that because on every single review that I've done so far of Miss Universe this year, I always put Argentina and I always mention she looks like a star from the silver screen, like someone who
Right.
should be-
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
Art Deco.
all Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
giving me
And also
also
the
like
hair.
Hollywood
Hairstyle.
glam.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Taylor
Yeah.
vibes as well.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, and if I may add about Belgium, I think she trained with the directors of Miss USA now. So
That makes sense.
yeah, so the styling is very Miss USA. The gown, I'm not surprised, it looks so Miss USA.
Mhm.
And I just love the idea that she went to the US for training. So who's the national director again for Miss USA?
Crystal Stewart.
Crystal
USA.
Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My brain's not yet awake, but yeah, I know that she
It's
did
fine.
went to the US
Where's the coffee, Jane?
and trained. I know that she did, so I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm happy for Belgium because, like, at least we have someone, a Miss Universe Belgium, that we can truly root for. Because, like, most of the time, the Belgium that makes it in the top 15 or top something, we're all Trump picks. And right now, at least we know that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a Trump pick because there was a year that majority of the top 15 were either Trump picks or what. They were all deserving. But with Miss Belgium this year, I felt like she was really a strong contestant and can give the Latinas a run for their money. So.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we move on to the evening gown competition, I'm sure we're going to have very different opinions just based on what we talked about in the swimsuit. I just want to give them a round of applause to Miss Universe, because they deserve it. Seeing how it went like a roller coaster. 2018, the production, I was in love.
Mhm.
A little bit biased. It was in Thailand, but let's
It was
not forget
amazing.
Thai productions are always stellar, guys. You
Oh,
cannot,
yeah.
cannot complain. So
that's true.
after 2018, I was severely disappointed. 19, I was like, what is that? Are we in like some kind of park? Like, this is not a Miss Universe level. 2020 was so. But now I'm actually really happy with the stage.
Mhm.
Was it supposed to be like a 7-0, the stage? It looked like a number.
Maybe.
Round shape. Like a 70th
It's
anniversary.
possible, yeah.
It kind of
Okay.
looked like that. See, I'm very calculated over here. Like,
I need to
thought
watch
it
that
looked-
again.
Yeah, but my
looks
what I like
7-0.
about what I like about how they did the camera angles, it looked like a Eurovision type of camera angling.
Well, the producer
And
or the
yeah,
I think it's the same
and
people.
I love and the gowns, which made me so happy, had so much exposure
Yes.
from head to foot, and the camera angles were wide. Unlike
Yeah.
last year when they had one job, Miss Universe, and I don't know what happened
It was so bad.
when my turquoise gown became dark blue. On
The
stage.
lighting was terrible.
Yep.
And the camera angle was just like, I don't know. It was all
Yeah.
over the place, and the exposure was kind of short
Yeah.
for a 3 months worth of work shown only for 30 seconds. It was
Mhm.
okay, but less. But this one had really great camera angles, George. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
agree.
happy.
That's why
Yeah.
let's give them props where they deserve, because it depends on the girl's performance, but in terms of Miss Universe, they actually delivered. So I just want to say, yeah, Miss Grand, now you got a competition. I know you're watching, but Miss Universe is back up.
If I may say about Miss Grand, they're just only about the grandiosity of visuals, but other than
Mhm.
that, yeah, whatever. So
I gotta say,
back to you, George.
I think 2020 was probably the worst year. I was able to attend Miss Universe 2019 and 2020, and even though 2020 was, I didn't really like the H stage,
Yeah.
but on TV it looked really good. The production, I think, on TV it looked really good. The Miss Universe 2020 stage looked horrific. I mean, it just looked cheap. It looked like they did everything in a week or less. Like it just looked bad.
Yeah.
But this year is definitely an improvement for sure.
Yeah. And did you guys notice when the girls were walking, they were like the LED on the runway? I thought that was super cool. The light were like beaming. I was like, you know what? This actually looks like a fashion show. Like, I'm actually here for it.
I was a
Exactly.
little worried about
Yeah.
this about that because I'm like, okay, so I know that they have to look at the judges and they have to go around
Yeah.
the stage. I'm
Yes.
thinking to myself, I hope that nobody like falls off the stage. So I'm glad that they had those LED lights on the ground to kind of guide them because it's obviously they're going to see that from
Right.
their
Yeah.
peripheral vision. So yeah.
Okay, now before we move on to the evening gown, I just noticed something. This might be a little bit juicy, a little bit controversial.
Oh.
What did you think of having all female judges panel?
Nope.
No.
Go on, be honest.
Well, I
Don't lie.
for this year, George. I just love the mix because like the judges are diverse, and
Yes.
having I think having Adriana Lima sets the tone.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Not unless though if she did something behind the scenes or backstage or I don't know what's going on in her brain. But Adriana Lima being there sets the tone, all the more that we have a histrionic Bollywood actress, Urvashi Rautela, being there.
Mhm.
And I love what the kind of balance it makes, and we have an empowered woman like Chesley Chris and Marian Rivera. Hey, Marian, Filipina. So I feel like they're looking for someone who could sell the brand and at the
Mhm.
same time look like a supermodel, like maybe a more sultry Catriona Gray. So to
Gavin
speak.
better.
Yeah.
You know what? As much as I like really appreciate the whole female empowerment, all of that is great. But let's not forget the truth. Majority of the people who actually watch the Miss Universe pageant, like ourselves, we're actually discussing right here, is an evidence, are actually gay men, or at least men who actually
Yeah.
watch the pageantry. So I felt kind of discriminated against when I actually saw all female, because that doesn't really like showcase the
Right.
fact that the audience does not match the judges. So I thought, are male judges not good enough to judge a female pageant? Because in male pageants you actually do get female judges. So I was
Yeah.
severely disappointed in that term. And you talked about it a little bit, and I hope I don't get hate for saying this, but why is 𝗕𝗲𝗀𝗁 𝗣𝗲𝗃 a judge? She did not even place in Miss Universe. Why don't we have 𝗣𝗲𝗿𝗃𝗃, who actually is a winner, who's qualified to judge a Miss Universe pageant? I thought that was just, it didn't make any sense to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you on pretty much everything you just said. It is really disappointing to not see at least a male figure in the judges panel, even if it was like the gayest man on earth. Because I mean, I feel like, almost everybody that works in the fashion industry,
Yep.
clothing and hair and makeup are gay men. So I feel like, and exactly. So I feel like we have, we're part of this whole Miss Universe thing, and I like the opinion of a gay man, for example, because I know that they're gonna pick like we say in Spanish, la más perra, like the
Ooh,
baddest of the
yes,
bad, like just like give it to me, give me life, give me the hair, just like
Yes.
we
Yes.
want that, we want to see that badass chick, like just
Yep.
be the baddest chick you can be, and I feel like that is missing when there's a panel of all women. I feel like they base it off of different things, and I don't say it's wrong. I just think that it's unfair, and I feel like it's not
Yep.
as inclusive as they say that they are, because they're excluding men.
That's it.
Exactly. I do have to say that I like the idea of like women judging women, but in
Yeah.
reality, I feel like you said it really it alienates a portion of the audience. And at the end of the day, we have to remember that Miss Universe is also a business, so they have to appeal to business partners as well. And sometimes these business partners might be male,
Yeah.
So the job of a Miss Universe, in my opinion, is that they have to be able to bring the attention, to really be able to grab the people's attention, to be able to talk to them, to convince them, to influence them, right? And I feel like by not considering this part of the demographic, you are just, it's counterproductive in my opinion. I love the
Yeah.
female empowerment idea behind it.
Yeah.
I love it 100%, but I don't think like it's practical for what they're trying to do afterwards with the winner, because the actually like the actual winner, you will rarely see her after the competition in a swimsuit, or you will rarely see her. You will mostly see her like red carpets, talking to people,
Yeah.
doing TV, doing like magazines and stuff like that, sponsorship. So anyways.
Yeah. And I would love to hear the opinion of Mr. Peter over there. He's clutching his pearls. I know he has something to say about it. Go on, Peter.
Give it to
What do you
us.
think?
Look, I think IMG is sending a message to everybody. I think it's a big message. I think it's what I'm worried about. I think is that it's now falling under the hands and the realm of political correctness. It's very interesting because I also am of the firm belief that nobody glorifies a woman more than a gay man. If you think about it, with the preparation, with the runway, it's all men. Men are doing
Exactly.
the runway training. Men are doing the styling. Men are doing the makeup and the hair, and they are being excluded from the actual judging process. Now, I agree with you, Lewis. The concept I think is very good. I love the concept of it, but like any other concepts, reality doesn't always work, i.e., communism. So I think this is possibly going to be the downfall of IMG. Women judge other women very differently. So you're right, Oscar. When it comes to a gay man judging a beauty pageant, it's beauty, it's glamour, it's aspiration, it's inspiration. Women judging other women in a beauty pageant will look at it differently. They'd be looking at something that maybe is not as glamorous and not as entertainment. And, realistically speaking, when I tune in for a beauty pageant, I tune in to be entertained and to have fun. Unfortunately, when you have a panel of all women judges, that's not going to happen necessarily, because
Right.
they will be judging and looking at it through different eyes. So, yeah, I think it's a real shame. I don't think that we're being discriminated against, but I think it's a clear message to the pageant community of the direction that IMG is heading towards.
But it's a direction that they've been heading towards for a while now, and I feel like they haven't done anything with it. What have they done with this whole empowerment thing?
Correct.
Nothing.
I will put it out there. If things keep going the way that they are, Miss Universe will be dead in the water within 5 years.
I'm sure some people will be happy.
Peter.
Well, it's their 5th year now with IMG, Peter. So
So in 10 years.
I have a question for all of you. Who is your favorite Miss Universe IMG era?
Oh, well, it's Catriona.
Pia, what's back?
Yeah, Catriona. Okay. What about you, Peter?
He's having a hard time deciding one.
Come back to me. Come
Okay.
back to me. Let me just
My favorite is Iris.
Yeah.
Iris.
All right. Yeah. She was
when I saw her, I said she's gonna win.
Oh,
I actually really like Zosie. I think Zosie was beautiful. Zosie is beautiful. I think Zosie has a story. I think her message is very, very relevant as well. So I think out of all of them, and if we were talking about a woman who could toe the line between commercialism, spokesperson, and beauty queen, and it would be Zosie for me.
Right.
She's an incredible speaker, and she's
great. Yeah, I picked Pia because she was the very first IMG era, so we kind of saw like from Trump era moving forward to the IMG era. And I still remember that Pia's answer. She said that, she's here to advocate and help the people who have HIV and AIDS. I thought her advocacy went well with the Miss Universe organization. And let's not forget, she was the one who gave us, power to the tagline, confidently beautiful with a heart. I thought that was so memorable. Until now, people quote Pia, and she's so likable. Like you cannot. Everyone who actually met her and worked with her, they said they had a great time. And I'm a big fan. Okay, I'm a fan of Pia.
No, Pia is spectacular. She's completely deserving of her crown. And to this day, I say, oh God, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Go on.
The only back-to-back is Miss Venezuela in 2008, 2009. There was no back-to-back in 2015. Pia is the winner. Period. Like that's it.
Hands down.
Yeah. I just wanted to add about Peter's comment about the judging panel, and I couldn't agree more with your point that you made, that by only having females, judging, they have a different style of looking maybe at the candidates in the way that they judged. And I feel like, personally, sometimes I feel that a majority of the audience, hence gay men, feel frustrated because their vision of it doesn't really translate to the the ones that finally make the top 16 or top 10. So I think it creates tension between the audience and the judging panel.
Yeah,
I agree.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah. I was just gonna say quickly. Sorry,
guys, pick one.
quickly. It's really fast. I feel like when men are judging beauty pageants, it's more predictable, and when women are judging, because they all have I feel like it's more varied with women, it's just so much more unpredictable. That's why we get a lot of surprises at Miss Universe of women we didn't expect to see.
I agree with all of your points, also with not having a male judge regardless of orientation, and the way I see it as a Christian man. As a Christian, I still don't understand women until now. Sometimes they annoy me so much. And I'm like, they do think differently. But I also don't blame why IMG went that route, because their former boss had a very bad reputation with women. But I feel like right now, with all of this going on, I feel like what Miss Universe needs to do is to really just check the core values of a male judge, whether he's gay or straight, so long as he could also represent the brand, or he could add to the value of Miss Universe. Like, for example, they can let let's say James Deacon judge, or since they're doing the green agenda now, or the owner of Tesla, or whoever, because like I don't blame them, because they have a very bad reputation when their owner was still Donald Trump. But I feel like men, regardless of orientation, again, has a they always look for beauty. And I remember Paula Sugar before, she always tells the judge to look at the girls first with their beauty. And if we have a male judge, I feel like that would be the first criteria that he would consider. Because I remember one of my beauty queens, I will mention her name. When this girl won in this certain pageant, she became controversial because she was not really beautiful according to so many people. And her point was, in a beauty pageant, your weapon is actually your face, and your whatever comes from your heart and your brain comes second. And that is really the harsh reality. And I feel like IMG has been suffering financially because of that. If not for Catriona, Pia, I'm not even sure if they're making money, and that's really the reality of things. And Catriona, I feel like, because she was really this hybrid of a beauty queen, multi-talented, and Zosie, I agree also, she's really the right mix. I really did love her too. So I hope IMG would have a male judge so that we can bring back the spice,
Correct. Yeah, you know what, John? With the whole all-female panel and the angle, they're saying, it's all about female empowerment. That's why we have all-female judges. I actually do not believe that any of the winners and any of the competitors during the Trump era were any less empowered
Exactly.
than the women that are competing now.
Exactly.
So I kind of feel every time this comes out, the whole, empowerment, female empowerment, it's almost like a slap in the face for the Trump era women. I doubt that any of them would agree that they would feel any less empowered by having a male judge or being judged by a male. In fact, they probably would feel even more empowered because it's showing their strength in front of a man and making a man think, yep, she's amazing and she deserves to have the crown. So, I really don't buy the whole female empowerment angle anymore.
And I would argue, I'm sorry, just last point. I would argue that the women Trump era, I hate calling it that, honestly, but pre-IMG era, I feel like those women are almost more empowered because they did more. They had a lot more things to do with their reigns. They did a lot more things, and now what do they do?
Yep, correct.
It's not the same.
All right.
Yeah.
But what I do agree on is for women to run the pageants inside.
Yes.
But which for me fits right in my values, because it really is scary if you have a man running a pageant and you're doing swimsuits, right? So it's just right that Paula Sugar is the president, and I wouldn't be surprised if she would go that route to have maybe an all-female company soon with Miss Universe, but I doubt that would happen.
Yeah.
But having an all-women organization is good to protect the women inside. But the judges, I feel like there has to be
a bit of a mix
there. At least one or two. But I feel like Nika of Miss U Update said that there will be a male judge.
Just pick us. We can judge.
Yeah.
Right.
We're good. We're good.
Right.
Yeah.
And if
we're
you
diverse.
If
you guys-
can judge, hello.
and if you guys are listening to us with a swimsuit, we all had different choices, so it's very varied as well.
Exactly.
Thank
I'm
you.
available.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Let's
here
go.
for that. So before we go to the gown, one last comment I read. It says, "Guys, you look really sleepy." It's because we are sleepy. They're very sleepy. I just woke up
wow.
just for this.
We have
I
been
woke-
sleeping. I
I
mean,
woke
with Miss
up
Grand, Miss
15 minutes
Universe, and Miss
before
World,
this
there's
live.
what is
Yeah.
sleep?
All right, now
George,
let's
I
go
woke
to
up
the
15 minutes before this
Yeah.
live. So yeah.
gowns. So
Gowns.
Peter, save your best to the last. So let's go
Okay.
from any random, but save your best in the end.
Okay.
All right,
Um,
standouts for you.
loved Kenya. Kenya was so beautiful. Loved Kenya.
Peter, I love you.
Um,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, loved Kenya. That gown, John, was like, wow. The color was perfect on her. It was just the right level of structure and fitness. It was so beautiful. So yeah, congratulations to you.
Thank
That was
you.
just so
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You took my breath away. Namibia model, love her. Model. You know what? I didn't want to like it, but Puerto Rico's performance and her gown was like, oh man, this is like, oh, it's 80s pageant Patty, but she pulled it off. Like she totally pulled it off. Who else was my favorite? Look, I'm going to deviate from the top 10 because George isn't here.
George has his whole studio thing, and
He comes back
yeah,
with
I should
with the
do that
headphones.
too.
Look, I really loved Argentina's gown. That whole old
Hollywood
Hollywood
glam, yeah.
Art Deco, 1920s inspired gown. That was fantastic. I also loved Italy's, and I wish, Morocco. First few seconds came out so elegant, and then she just kept that pose with the neck going like this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the girl's
She
got
could be a
whiplash.
surprise. She could be
Yeah,
a
she is.
surprise.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think
On the
so. She's
final night.
so facially beautiful. I just
Beautiful.
wish that they had styled her differently.
Yes.
Her hair should have been down instead of that French bun and French roll that they did. The chignon, I don't think really worked for her. But now that George is back, let's go back to my top 10.
Okay, go on. Sorry, I have to take a quick. I've been drinking a lot since morning, so sorry. Continue.
Yeah, France was beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, the girl that I would love to hate is, Paraguay. She did everything right. So, respect and props to that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna bother giving you like my countdown. These are just all like,
It's fine. Random,
my
it's fine.
favorites, but I will
Mhm.
give you my, when it gets down to my last two, I'll give you my top two. Cool. Spain again, France was there, India, Costa Rica was there, but my top two is USA and Belgium. IMG is probably going to give this to Crystal Stewart. Yeah,
You
end
think?
of the day, USA is
first
still
they are.
going to be there. Yep.
But he's the first like handling a pageant. Isn't that a bit too quick to give a crown to USA?
No.
We'll
Don't
not
see
really
in the
sure.
finals. Yeah.
Yep.
But I
I
feel
think
like a
IMG is
woman-
going to give this to Crystal. It'll
I
be
feel
like,
like a
here you
woman
go,
of
here you
color
go.
will win. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be right.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, it's too early for USA.
Yeah.
She just came
Yeah.
from Miss USA. Like,
She
this would be so
literally just
unfair
came
for
from
girls
Miss
like
USA, yeah.
France.
But the thing about
She had
Miss
2 years
USA,
to practice.
I do
Right.
feel like she is still riding on that high, because she didn't have time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
pause.
Process
She's
it. Yeah.
still
Yeah.
in like competition mode, so she came
Mhm.
Right.
on.
She is
like, other
still
countries.
competing. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think it's so unfair for the girls like France and like other countries like Vietnam. They have been practicing for so long. And like I
Yeah.
think it should be someone who deserves it, not because based on the business aspect, as much as I
Right.
love Crystal Stewart. Nothing wrong with her. She's inspirational. She competed many times.
Right.
Great girl, great woman.
Gorgeous.
But a big but, I think it'd be so unfair for USA to win. Based on like how much the girls have worked. USA just competed a national pageant and she flew right to Israel and she was late. Let's not forget. She
and
was late to the pageant. It's
she
not
didn't
fair.
finish her quarantine either because they removed her out of her room less than 3 days after. Like there is no way she
Wow.
was in there for 3 days.
What?
She was in there for maybe a day and a
Wow.
half.
I'm sure the national directors are irritated. So.
Look when she arrived and look when
That's
she
not
went
fair.
down to do the fitting, and it was not 3 days.
Yeah.
And look,
Yeah.
when they do the publicity tour and all of that, USA is always there anyway. So I don't
Mhm.
think USA will win Miss Universe.
No.
I think Belgium may win this,
Hopefully.
and
Yeah.
number 2 will be USA. So they'll give it to Crystal. I think they'll give it to Crystal, and it's kind of like Miss Grand. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if Thailand makes it into the top 5 or to the top 10. She's still doing the media tour with everybody else.
I mean,
That
true.
is true. That
Yeah.
is true. So she
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have to win, right? According to
She
you.
doesn't
So
have to win.
maybe
USA doesn't have
will
to
not
win.
win. She could always accompany the Miss Universe.
Yeah,
So she doesn't have to.
correct. They're
So
all
you're
going to stay
correct.
in the same apartment.
No, I don't think so. I
No,
think
they're
USA
staying in
is
the same
living in
apartment
California.
anymore.
I think
Yeah.
it's still the same
Oh,
apartment.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
Really?
I know that the
No.
organization is
Yeah.
separate from
It's-
Miss Universe now, but I'm pretty sure the apartment is actually still the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought she lived in
Oh.
California, the Miss USA, because the organization is in California now. Interesting.
We'll have to look at Miss USA again and the prizes she won.
Yeah, so Miss USA pulled some triggers here. So
Yeah,
hi, Miss USA.
clearly. Okay, since you're talking, Gia, let's go to you. Any standouts here in evening gown?
Oh yeah. So I was just reminded because my friend released this prophetic word about the winner. So now it makes sense, but I will not reveal which continent it belongs to. But we've
Come
been mentioning
on.
Don't say the country, say the continent.
it's Europe. So I'm not going to be surprised if the winner is European. We have Belgium, now we
Okay.
have France and Spain. So I won't be surprised.
Okay.
But like I said, it would be a woman of
We have three
color.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
There you go.
For my gowns, I have actually 12. And first of all, Peter, thank you for loving the gown.
Love
Because,
it.
like,
Love it.
guys, for the benefit of time, we did that gown for only 15 days.
Wow.
Mm.
And
Incredible.
it was me who did the rhinestones all this time with the help of 2 friends, and basically. And I had sleepless nights. It was the first time I could feel my knees shaking.
Wow.
Because I couldn't. I'm so tired. So anyway, thank you, Peter. That means a lot. Thank you so much. So, okay, Paraguay is on my 12. Sorry, George, I have 12. I just didn't like the whole.
It's fine. It's
thing.
better than 20s. It's fine. Go on, sorry.
Paraguay. I love her gown. It reminds me of a costume in one of the theater shows that whatever. So yeah, and then Colombia. I just didn't like the cape. Can you ditch the cape or change your gown? But I love it's very Colombian. I actually study Colombian gowns. Yeah, so I actually get the technique from Alfredo Barraza, the gowns that he make for Miss Colombia. So I'm learning a lot. So Alfredo, if you're listening, hello. I know that the Filipino fans aren't so fond of you, but I am actually a huge fan. So anyway, and then Vietnam. I love the gown. It was so beautiful. Vietnam has the most underrated and untapped talent. I always get intimidated with the Vietnamese designers because, in the Philippines, Filipino designers are struggling. In Vietnam, ordinary designers have printing machines. And it doesn't make sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the Indian embroidery, the tambour embroidery, is actually being practiced in Vietnam. And that's the reason why they can create gowns as fabulous as that. And let's not forget that the designer of Iris Mitinar is Vietnamese. So,
I remember that one.
it's
Yeah.
Vietnamese. Yeah. So, yeah, kudos to Vietnam. USA, made by Michael Cinco. I don't know how they pulled that off in like 24 hours. Congratulations,
Project
Michael.
Runway, finale. Yeah.
I know. So it's
Has
such
to
an
be.
Like
24
Canada,
hours.
so he was
It
like,
has,
"I'll give it to you."
50
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
working
it's
on
such
it.
an honor to share the stage with Michael Cinco, nonetheless. Because, really, because when you compete at Miss Universe with evening gowns, they don't care about the brands, but the aesthetic. So it's really such an honor to share it with you, Michael. And then, of course, Kenya. That gown is really heavy. I think around 10 kilos, and then she made it to
My
look
goodness.
so
Yeah.
easy. Yeah,
That's
and
heavy.
the gown was so heavy. Iris's gown, Belize's gown last year was heavier, and you can see the weight. But this one, she made it look so easy. And I know there was a slight change on the slit part, and I understand why they did that because of the stairs. Miss Universe, ditch the stairs, please, because like the girls are having a hard time
Mhm.
walking.
No more stairs, please. We don't want
Yeah.
another
Seriously.
any girls
Yeah,
falling down.
and then
Not a good look.
exactly, and then Czech Republic. Surprisingly, I love her gown. She's also very beautiful. I feel like they elevated because they had Michael Cinco last year. So I don't know who designed the gown. I think it's a Gianni thingy from Venezuela. It looks like it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I love it. Of course, Italy. Wow, finally, hello. Italy is the fashion capital of the world, but they, George, the Miss Grand Italy with that gown. I don't know what happened with that. Like she
It
looks
was
like
a
a.
Christmas gift because
No, she
Christmas is
looks
coming soon. That's it.
She was in
every
foil wrap.
year, exactly. Every year, Italy comes with very horrendous gowns.
I don't know
I
why
must
either.
say, yeah. When
They,
they can just
they have
pull
so
out
many
with-
great designers. Gucci,
Exactly.
Versace, you name it. There are so many Italian
Yeah,
designers. I don't know what's happening.
when they
Sorry.
can ask Atelier Versace to just
Exactly.
craft some gowns for.
I feel like those fashion designers probably look down on the fact that it's a pageant.
Correct.
That could be true,
Exactly.
actually.
Look, if you think about it, the last time we had a great gown for Italy was in 1994.
Yeah, and interestingly though,
Wow.
Peter, Miss Kenya's gown was supposed to have a hood.
Oh
But
wow!
I had
Okay.
to remove it. I had to remove it on the day on itself because I couldn't make it anymore. I had to deliver the gown so it would make it to Nairobi. Otherwise, she will not have any gown. And praise God, I listened to him and I removed it, so it still worked
Beautiful.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Honduras, the whole head wrap thing was
Yes.
Oh yeah, she had the
yes.
gold one. Gold one. I
Yes.
remember
Oh
that.
my
Yes.
goodness!
yeah gorgeous Honduras.
Beautiful surprise.
What a diva!
Yeah.
Loved it,
Yeah,
loved
I
it,
love the
loved it,
color.
loved it.
Yellow
Loved
gold. I love
Yeah.
it. And then India with their typical, style, but I love it too. She just looks bottom heavy with the skirt. And then Bolivia, Nehema, congratulations. I love the choice of color, pink, and the whole execution was good. And my number one is France. So France really won this round for me. She looked so tiny in the gown. The color was just right. I think it was gold, right? And it was
Yes, gold.
see-through, and it was not cliche, so to speak. So it worked so well for her. So again, I don't mind Miss France winning because I can relate to her. I feel like every girl can relate to her. The kind of girl who does skateboarding, rollerblading, drinks milkshake every day. I mean, I'm that kind of person. Even if I'm on fitness, but I eat ramen. I just binge McDonald's right now. I mean, last night because I wanted to celebrate, right? And I feel like that's the kind of energy Miss France is giving out. So I don't mind her winning too. I mean, she's not like that tough-looking, hey, I'm empowered Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Miss France gives us that friendly, she can endorse.
Carefree, very sweet.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she's the kind of girl that can endorse Kylie Jenner's cosmetics or whatever.
Yeah.
And Miss Universe can milk money from her. So yeah.
Yeah.
God knows they need it.
correct.
Yeah.
It's actually really true. But I would say one thing. I would like to see a different hairstyle on Miss France. As much as I
Please.
think it's beautiful, the dress was great, the hair was just so not
Maybe
working
she's
for
gonna
me.
do a high
She needs a
pony on
different look.
Monday. Yeah, maybe she's gonna do a high pony. Because
Yeah.
I saw one of her photos that she did the sleek
Okay.
and then high pony with the curls. So maybe she'll do that. Yeah.
All right. I want to see versatility because I feel like even her official portrait, she actually had the same hairstyle. It's been very same. So I want to see a little bit of different look.
And
okay.
Sylvie, Sylvie Tillier is the only female Miss Universe national director that knows what she's doing. The rest, and kudos to Sylvie for doing such a great job. Even if she didn't make it in the 2002 Miss Universe, right, Peter? But she still did an awesome job. So
Yeah.
congrats, Sylvie, for sending stellar candidates every year.
Look, if you think about it, I think a lot of it comes from the confidence that Miss France doesn't have to try and doesn't have to try hard
Yeah.
to win Miss Universe. Because
That's true.
Miss France is probably one of the most expensive and richest pageants in the
Yeah.
world. The
Mhm.
prize
Mm.
package is even more than Miss Universe. So a Miss France probably doesn't even need to try. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna show up. I don't need
I'm
to
just
go and
gonna
try
have
for
fun.
this one. Yep, I'm richer than Miss Universe, so they don't
Yeah.
need to try.
And funny thing, Peter, did you notice some of the Miss France actually do not go to Miss Universe? They don't even go to any international pageants
They
because
don't
they're so
have to
comfortable
Don't
living
they
as
because
get
Miss
they're
France.
given the choice. Do you want to
Yeah.
compete? Yeah, sure, no problems.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't care,
I'll have a
that's so
good
cool.
time.
right? It's like, yeah, I'll take the holiday, sure.
Right.
Yeah. Lewis, I know you have been quiet for a while, so let's hear your standouts in the
Just
evening
taking a
gown.
minute. Okay, so going from 10 to number one, well, actually, I have kind of like 11 picks because one of them is a tie,
That's
but I'll
fine.
go
Yeah.
quickly through them. So, number 10 for me is Argentina. So, no, sorry. Number 10 for me
Mhm.
is South Africa, which I
Okay.
know that
Okay.
is kind of like not the most obvious choice for everyone because she went with a white gown, very,
Mm,
Yeah.
very simple. But I felt like it made sense for Lalela. I felt like
Mhm.
what she
Okay.
represents. For me, she is a woman of like a lot of intellect rather than like pasarela and like twirls and this and that. So
mm.
I just felt like
Right.
it made sense for her, and I liked like the aura that she gave me with it. Number nine, I do have Miss Argentina. I felt like it was a
Mhm.
beautiful, tribute, like an homage to uh,
Mm.
this style of gowns
Old
that's a little bit more like
Hollywood.
It's
vintage.
so beautiful.
Old
Yeah.
Hollywood, exactly.
I agree.
Loved it. Number eight, I have Kenya.
Oh my God, Luis, thank you so much. I love you. Oh my
So you got
God.
two
I
out of
love
four.
Joe's reaction.
Because
It's like,
I love it.
he's like a proud
honestly,
father.
no bias. I mean, Kenya, beautiful girl, but you did also an amazing, amazing job. And I feel like you
Thank
deserve the
you.
recognition. I love
Okay.
you as a friend, and I love you as a designer as well. Love your
Thank
work.
you so much.
Number
Mm.
seven for me, this is the one that is kind of a tie. So I am in between Morocco and Belgium. Um, Morocco, I felt like it was a beautiful cultural reference.
Mm.
I do appreciate that, and I feel like there is a moment in time for it, and I feel like
Mm.
it did fit the moment, the situation was appropriate.
Mm.
Mm.
And Belgium, I mean, I won't elaborate too much. I feel like you guys have been explaining, and it's just amazing. And I do think that if the stars align, she
Mm.
might win the entire thing. So we'll see. Vietnam, number six on my list. The first thing that I thought when I saw her coming on stage was like, it's giving share.
Yeah.
She was
It
giving me.
is giving a
Yes,
share.
yes, yes. Absolutely correct,
I
Julie.
agree.
Yeah.
Finally,
Made me
someone who
think,
actually is giving share. Yes.
yes, this was Cher on the cover of Time magazine back in the day. Amazing, beautiful. And there's something about Vietnam. I just love her attitude. Like when she goes on
Mm.
stage, her energy, she is enjoying the moment. There is no stress. You can see some of the fan favorites hesitating and double thinking and being a little anxious. Vietnam, she's having a ball, and I
Mhm.
love that. Chile, number five on my list. I don't think that her gown was the most elaborate one, but I feel like she knew how to wear the gown. Like she knew how to sell it. It was red, which in my opinion, you need to have the personality to pull it off. And
Mm.
he came on
Mm.
stage with, a big smile, beautiful, voluminous hair, a lot of confidence. So I appreciated it. Number four, although I gave her a little bit of a hard time earlier, I have Miss Colombia. Um,
Okay.
what I think going on with Colombia is that maybe I was expecting something from her that is not necessarily who she is. It doesn't mean that she underperformed in any way,
Right.
shape, or form, but just that I was expecting something different. But I was happy with her gown. I feel like she looked
Mm.
beautiful, and she's always one that has like a surprise element that makes it fun as well. So it's a win-win. Number three, Paraguay. So Nadia, just like you were
Okay.
saying, George, she's one that was it George or Peter that was saying it? That I
What?
mean, sometimes I hesitate about her because everything seems like too perfect to be true, but I was really happy with her presentation,
Mm.
both with the swimsuit
Okay.
and the gown.
Yep.
Number two,
I agree.
India, and I know that, well, I don't know for you guys, but for me, India did not have the best gown for preliminary, but the attitude, the
Yes.
confidence, just
Yeah.
She
like
has it.
Yes.
I
the
agree.
presence.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
When she walked on stage, I was like, that is a Miss Universe right there. And my number one pick, what do you think it is?
Let's guess. Just 5 seconds. Let's guess. Who could it be?
Who could it be? Who could
Could
it
it
be?
really be from the P group? Is she
I
from the
think
P
it's
group?
Philippines.
Yeah, could it be from Philippines?
Well, actually, it's someone from the P group and is Puerto Rico.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, Louis.
Love Puerto Rico. I felt like her gown was beautiful. I love the color. For anyone who knows me personally, knows that purple is my color. If you go to my channel, banner is purple, profile picture is purple, everything purple, and it just like had such a beautiful contrast with her skin. She seems so happy
Yeah.
to be there. She has like that aura, that presence, so like hypnotic, and I liked the styling here on the shoulders, like on her arm, really made me think a little bit of our um, the costumes that people wear, like in Puerto Rico,
And
Cuba, a little bit as well. You know, because I'm
Yep.
from Cuba originally,
Mm.
so for us, we have very similar, you know, culture and styles. And I always root, you know, for the Philippines because you know, that's where I learned pretty much everything I know about pageantry. But when I have to relate to Latinas, I think of Puerto Rico as like the one that I feel the closest to. So I was really happy with her. Michelle is really, you know,
Yeah.
doing the most. I love
I
it.
Yeah.
agree.
I know what you're talking about when it comes to the dress. It was almost like an homage
Yeah.
to that traditional African Caribbean dance music. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And it
Thank God for
related
color.
to it, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
God
A big
for
I love
thank
color.
the
you.
color.
Thank
Yeah.
We
you.
wanted
Yeah.
colors. Remember, Peter, before we all came, I said, I feel like this season of Miss Universe, I'm getting say yes to the dress. If you guys do not know what the show is, it's all about picking a wedding dress. I was
Yeah.
getting so many white dresses. I was like, guys, please, can we get some colors? It is so
Yeah.
vanilla. I need
Yeah.
some flavor here. Like, it's so, I don't want to say bland. but
Thank you,
it's not
John,
bland.
for a beautiful gown with a beautiful color.
Thank
And
you.
thank you
It
so
was
much for that.
Peter. It's my first time to do an
Thank you.
ombre.
Yeah, Jen.
Okay.
It's my first time to do all of that, and when I do my designs, I ask the Lord to reveal to me a vision of a design He wants me to do. So when I do rhinestones, pretty much I don't have any idea. I pray first and I say, Lord, what do you want me to do? So that was it. That was His work. Even me, I don't know how it happened. All of manifestation of God's love. So praise God. Thank you, Lord, for such an amazing, for being such a great God. So thank you,
I
Peter.
am booking you in for my next gowns for my girls because you have a direct line to
Yes.
God.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me know, Peter. Yeah, let me know. I would love to
I'm
work with
booking you
you.
in for the next Miss Grand Australia gown. All right. So
Yeah,
you and I
sure.
will talk.
Okay, we'll talk.
Oh, you guys are funny. What about you, Oscar? Who is your list?
So before I give you my list real quick, because I'm at 19%, I have to say that it's not so much the gown, it's how it's carried and how the woman feels in the dress. Because the dress may not be the most spectacular dress, but if she feels like a queen, it doesn't matter truly. I mean,
Right.
if it's a really bad dress, then that can make a difference.
Mhm.
But, you know, if it's an okay dress for the preliminary and she performs outstanding, then that can secure her a spot in the finals.
Correct.
For my number 10, I have Panama. I did not like the gown, but again, I'm basing it on performance. I think she did really well on her performance. She surprised me once again in evening, because I feel like some of them I liked in swimsuit and some of them I didn't like in evening gown, and vice versa. Like, it wasn't like a whole package deal. It was either one or the other. 9, I would say Venezuela. I think the gown was pretty enough for a preliminary. Like, it was enough for her to classify for the finals. Again, something was amiss with her makeup, and I really do hope that they fix it for the final. Number 8, I would have to go with USA. I'm going to admit she's really not my favorite when it comes to just I don't know. She just I can't connect with her, and it's probably because she just won. But I don't have any connection to her whatsoever. She is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And that's really mostly what I'm basing it on. And I really actually did like the gown and the color.
Yeah.
Number 7, Colombia. I love Colombia. I think she's a gorgeous woman. I think that the dress, in some pictures, I noticed that it wasn't yellow enough. Like in some pictures, in the video, it looked yellow, and others it looked kind of whitish or grayish. Like I just couldn't really get the color. I wish it was maybe even more yellow. It didn't have the cape, but it did have that typical Colombian design when it comes to the gown.
Yeah.
Number 6, I would say Vietnam. Very Stephanie Gutierrez 2018. I mean,
That's what I said.
she's literally like a Latina 2018 Stephanie Gutierrez. Like, and I love it because the only difference is that she brings more bubbly personality to the runway, and I love that. Like, she is so cute. I just want to give her a hug. Number 5 was India. Again, something that I was not I'm not disappointed. It was what I was expecting. Like, I think she did really well in swimsuit, and I knew she was going to do well in evening gown. Number 4, Kenya.
Oh my God! Thank you so much.
Kenya. I loved her. What's funny is that I didn't really know. Like, I honestly completely forgot that you were designing that gown. And when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, wow, that's Jan's design. I love her. I think she's so elegant, long neck, very beautiful girl. And then I love the color. I mean, green is one of my favorite colors. And I love the lining of the bottom of the dress, how it was a different color. And it just gave it that pop. Loved it.
Correct.
Loved it.
Yeah, correct.
Great.
And it's like me as well. I had no idea too that you had designed that gown until after.
Same, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
didn't know it
my
was you.
views were very unbiased and
Yeah.
no bias
Thank
at
you.
all. So
Oh,
well done.
it's so nice to wake
Gorgeous
up to
gown.
that.
And I'm very happy for color, for the gowns that were colorful. And I'm tired of gold. I'm tired of white. I'm tired of those normal, like, neutral colors. I want to see greens and purples and blues, and number 3, I loved Honduras. I think she was just an absolute standout. She was so
Yellow
beautiful, and it's
gold
just
turban.
yeah. I
Damn.
never thought I'd see it, and I just thought it was amazing. I just gave her that special thing to make her memorable, and for the judges to remember her. And then for 1 and 2, I am tied. I'm tied with 2 of my girls that I absolutely love, which is Puerto Rico and France. I love Puerto Rico and France. I love them so much. Puerto Rico's purple gown, like, the designer has never designed for a Miss Universe before. He's a fairly young designer. His name is 𝗲𝗲𝗍. And I do like that. Like I said, he incorporated some sort of design that had to do with the traditional folklore dance from the Latino African, community. Love that. I think he did an amazing job. I gotta say, it's not my favorite gown, but it was based off of her performance. Like, she just did an amazing job in the dress. And France, like, what can I say? I just absolutely love her. I want to be her best friend. I want to go eat McDonald's with her and Gian. And like, I want her to help me with my fashion picks because I'm terrible at it. But I would have to say those are my favorites.
Right.
Oh, and I can't really say anything, but there may be a surprise for the final. I'm hoping to baby Jesus that Puerto Rico makes it to evening gown because there may be a surprise.
All right. I'm excited now. That you said it.
Maybe. I don't know.
But you know what I like about Puerto Rico's gown is that it's not your typical mushy purple.
Yeah.
When
I
she came
agree.
out, it was actually high fashion. And kudos to the designer who does not do Miss Universe gown because it's really intimidating. My first time, I was scared. But we did a fairly great job in Sierra Leone. But congratulations to the designer of Puerto Rico, amazing job. I felt like it was a combination of a Michael Cinco technique and so many, or a Stéphane Roland from France. So good job. Yeah.
Yeah, and I only say that because a lot of countries, I mean, I expect her to change the dress, just like I expect India to change her dress. I don't think that France is going to change her dress. I know that Colombia is going to change her dress. You know what I mean? Plus, they did confirm it earlier today that Michelle was going to wear a different gown. But, and it was on the TV news or something. But I'm sure Venezuela is also going to change her gown. So
yeah, she has another gown. It's already revealed. Yeah.
Right. There are some, those countries that usually are very competitive bring a second gown just to give that surprise. I just always say that if you have a winning gown, use it in the preliminary.
Correct.
If the preliminary dress is not strong enough for a final, do not put the dress on the dress.
Yep.
Exactly. That was
what I've been
telling everyone. So
yeah. I agree. All
I'm
right.
so glad you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of girls need to hear that.
We need to tag all the organizations.
Give her that best till the end. So actually, mine's kind of a mix of all of them, to be honest. Okay, so I have, yet again, I kind of cheated. I have 12. I don't have 10. I love a tiebreaker, like some pageants. We love a tiebreaker to kill the suspense. Anyway, so my 10th place, I have a tie between USA and the Philippines. USA, I love the gown. I knew immediately it was a Michael Cinco gown. Yeah. Like nobody even had to tell me it was Michael Cinco gown. It was incredible. USA might not be my favorite. However, she definitely performed. And the gown was Miss Universe worthy. So I was really happy to see USA. Philippines, it was a very simple gown. I expected a lot more from the Philippines. So the dress was a little too simple, but she carried herself really well. I thought she was like a warrior princess. I know I've been kind of like saying the same thing again and again, but she does give me like a Xena, the warrior princess. Number 9, nobody said it. Chile. I love this girl. Like there's something about her. She's so calm, composed.
Very sweet.
Yeah, like very approachable, because I already watched her live with Philippines, Thailand, and I forgot one more girl, I think Colombia. And like she was so friendly, so approachable, and I thought, you know what, I would love to see her in top 16. After Chile, Panama, neon yellow color, and once again, surprised with the performance. I was not expecting Panama to do this well. Really good work. I liked France, like you guys said, gold dress, and through all the hardship she went through, she still radiates positivity, energy, and I thought, you know what, this girl deserves a spot in the top 16, especially with what she just recently went through. No one talked about her. Dominican Republic, I thought she actually did really well. I think she is a dark horse in the competition. Not a lot of people are talking about her, but I thought she was shining, and I said thank you in like capital letters, because we saw a lot of white dresses just before her, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get some color? And she wore this beautiful bright gold gown. India is my number 5. I know that the gown was a little bit more like, simple for India, but I really like the color. It was rose gold, and it is such a unique color we don't see often in pageantry. And I like, Peter might say she's a Miss World girl, but I actually think she will do good in Miss Universe too. I really like her.
For sure.
I think she's good for Universe as well. Like I gave her really high points. Thailand, no one talked about Thailand. I was not a big fan of her swimsuit walk. However, I really liked her evening gown. She looked like Oscar, like when you get those Oscars, not you, like,
the Academy Award.
Yeah, she looked like a trophy because it was such a beautiful golden wrap dress, and I'm so happy that she's here to make a statement. And when I saw her evening gown performance, I said she has arrived. Thank you, Thailand, because I wanted her to like have a moment, and it looked like the judges also liked it, because I was after I finished my top 10, I have to say something about the judges as well. I noticed something. Like number 3, Puerto Rico. I mean, come on. She's very consistent. I really liked her since the national pageant. She has been my top 3 since the national pageant until now. She has not disappointed me. She's very sophisticated. And there's something about these drop shoulders that I am in love with, okay? I don't know, it just does it for me. Like this sexy drop shoulders with the ruffle. I thought it was just incredible. She was poised. Great job. Okay, my second and my first is a tie, so I have 1. Sorry, Miss Grant, I only have 1. I will give to the first place. So my first place tie is Vietnam. I love this girl. Vietnam is my type of girl. I know some people are saying she's kind of giving like a Latin energy, but you know what?
I love her.
I don't care if she's giving Latin energy. I need a girl like her to represent Asia, because I feel like people think Asian girls are like so shy, so reserved, and like the quiet type. But Vietnam is giving me sexy, sex on the legs. I was
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
thank
Exciting.
you. Like I needed someone like that from Asia, and I feel like Vietnam is that girl. The dress is beautiful. I loved everything about it. It represents the Mekong River, which is a big river that flows from China to Vietnam, and I love everything about it. I think Miss Universe Vietnam, you're doing an incredible job, and the national director, if you do not mind sliding in my DMs, I'll be so happy as well. You're very cute. You're very, very cute. Let me just address that. He's very cute. So yeah, everything. They are very professional. That's what I was trying to say. Miss Universe Vietnam, I like your company and the way you're handling your beauty queen. So great job. And of course, my number one, I'm being very consistent, Colombia. Colombia is the girl to beat, guys. She has been doing incredible for me. I wrote down my notes. She looked like a goddess walking straight from the heaven to the earth to give us some magic and bless us. Literally, that's what I wrote down when I saw her. For me, she is literally my number one throughout the competition. I like how the earring kind of matched the gown. I know you guys are thinking that, was it the train you said? Was it the cape or the train?
Yeah, it was a
too
cape.
much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't really mind because she was so perfect. Like I was just so captivated by her beauty that I didn't really care what she wore. I didn't care if her work was bad, but guess what? She delivered. And I was really happy to see that girl. And I have a feeling Colombia could take the whole thing. So that's my top 10.
We shall
Now-
see.
What is a pageant
Yeah.
gown without a cape?
That
That's very pageantry.
yeah.
I
I'm
think we've
talking
seen
about-
a lot of it in the last 3-4 years.
That is
it's-
true.
It's
Yeah.
quite refreshing to see a gown without a cape.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
just
now
why I
I'm gonna-
didn't go for the cape. So
I want to
'cause,
put y'all
I've
on the
been doing a lot of
spot.
What is it?
I want y'all to tell me who your top 3 overall is tonight. Based on the preliminary, I'm not saying that like we're gonna
only the preliminary, right?
right,
Okay.
because I still have to do my final top, and I'm gonna post that later on. And this is not my final top 3, but this is based on
Okay.
preliminary, like an average.
Mm.
My favorites: Puerto Rico, France, and India. I think that they were just
Okay.
very strong for different reasons. Actually, I think that India and Puerto Rico, they were giving me kind of the same-ish energy.
Hmm.
And then I was getting a
Mm.
different energy from France, but I loved it. I loved it. Those are my 3
Okay.
strongest from the
Okay.
preliminary.
Okay.
Yeah. If I may add, I could sleep. I was like in the toilet last night and I was like, who's my top 3? And mine would be
Good place to think.
yeah, good place to think and pray. So mine would be Colombia, France, and India. So
Okay.
those are the 3 candidates that I can, stay without even having to go back to my notes. But Kenya, congratulations, you're my 4th place. So yeah.
Hmm.
How about you, Luis? Yeah.
Yeah, Luis, can you go for me, please?
Okay, I'll go. So for me, as of right now, based on a mix of swimsuit and evening gown, it will be between India. I mean, my top 3 for both of them were pretty much the same, just in different order. But it was Paraguay, India, and Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much my top 3 as of right now. I noticed that Chile is also like close, but like not quite.
Almost getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to depend of the finals, but
Mhm.
it's gonna be exciting because there is so much potential. You
Yeah.
never know. Even the girls that we are not talking about might
Yeah.
surprises.
Yeah, we never
Which
know
I hope
what's gonna
not,
happen.
Luis. Oh my God.
Huh? Huh?
Which I hope not. Okay, because
Come on, Philippines!
Honestly,
Yeah,
anything
Oscar,
can
you were
happen.
saying. Yeah, you were saying something, Oscar.
I have no idea what I was saying, but I'm just happy to be here.
Can I just say, Lewis, your tone of voice is so beautiful that you could talk about anything and I could listen to you all day.
Oh yeah.
'Cause, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the wind outside is actually howling.
Uh-huh.
And I've been so self-conscious that you could
I
hear
can't hear it.
that.
Mm-mm.
No.
Thank goodness.
Great.
But I completely forgot about the wind howling as soon as you opened your mouth and you started talking, because I'm
Right.
thinking, oh my gosh, I could listen to you all day.
Thank you so much.
It's almost like he has a YouTube channel. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, could it be a
Wait, hang
vlogger,
on
a
for a
YouTuber?
second.
This is precisely why no one can shut me up on my channel. I post like 5 times a day, but thank you so much. You're the sweetest.
Okay, so if I have to say my top three as of now, I have. This is in random order, okay? I don't mind any of them winning. I have Puerto Rico. I think, like I said, since the start, very consistent, performing really well. She speaks good too. I did watch her live with Natalie, Miss Universe, so she speaks good too. I have Vietnam. I know a lot of people are kind of like talking about her, but not really talking about her. I feel like she's a dark horse in the competition. I would love to see Vietnam once again in top. Last time was in 2018, top 5.
Yep.
And I know that Vietnam just won the Golden Crown, Miss Grand. So I'm keeping my eyes on her. Next up, of course, I've been very vocal about this, Colombia. Like I will be really happy to see Colombia win because I remember the last time they won was before the IMG era, right? Wasn't that the last Trump winner?
2015, 2014.
14, yeah. So I would like to see an IMG winner from Colombia. So
Puerto
that would
Rico
be my
hasn't
top-
won since 2006.
Oh,
Really? Has it been that long?
Listen. Okay, I gotta vent for a second. I'll promise it'll be like a minute. But like, I think to myself, what do we have to do to win the Miss Universe crown? Like, I knew that Catriona Gray was gonna win because she was the one to beat in 2018, and I was so proud that Kiara got top 5. And I know that she got there because of her personality, because of that angel that she has. Kiara is just incredible. And then Madison, which to me is like the epitome of a Miss Universe. And I mean, granted, I am not taking away from Zosie because I remember when I saw her in the evening gown, because I was there in Georgia, I said she is going to win Miss Universe when she walked out in the evening gown. And she's totally deserving it. And then last year, which was just shocking to me that they left Estefania out of the top 5 because even though you didn't like the evening gown, which is, subjective, her performance in evening gown was, to me, the top 5 deserving. So, and her speaking skills were honestly one of the best, if not the best, a Miss Puerto Rico has ever had in the history of the national pageant. She's probably the most prepared Miss Puerto Rico we have ever had. And it's just shocking to me that she didn't make top 5. So, Miss Universe, you owe us a crown.
You know what you need to do, Oscar? I think you gotta be. I think your people need to be a little bit more strategic, in the sense that I think if IMG's moving toward a certain direction, you gotta go down that path as well. So maybe you need to stop thinking pageant and start thinking, what is IMG looking for?
Well, that's what I thought with Estefania. That's what I thought we were going with, because even though she's a beautiful woman, she's more intellect. She's more of a speaker. She's,
Yeah, you got to look for that perfect crossover, the kind that Zosie had. Because a lot of the sponsors aren't necessarily looking for a pageant girl; they're looking for a personality. So maybe that's what you guys need to do, because you're constantly sending strong pageant girls, and for us who do watch pageants, like Here Comes Puerto Rico, my goodness! But then the people who are picking the winners aren't necessarily pageant people.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I completely understand that. I mean, it's just I feel like there is a thing which I don't like, which is, I feel like to a certain extent, I feel like some people do discriminate towards gorgeous people, like gorgeous women, like a bombshell. I feel like there is some discrimination towards that, because
like
it's so
other women,
focused.
you mean?
Huh? No,
You mean
but
like
for
What
example,
are you
women?
saying, Peter? What are you saying?
like Paraguay. Look at Paraguay.
The way that I see things is, if you're a successful woman, I
Right.
think there's a special kind of woman who absolutely embodies sisterhood. Unfortunately, I don't think we see that. And I can speak from experience, especially from the Australian perspective. If you're a successful beauty queen, you don't necessarily want to have the next girl doing better than you, because you want to hold on to that status and that elevated role for as long as you can. And unfortunately, it is a dog eat dog world out there. Women still have a lot to prove, and they still fight to get up that ladder. And when they get to that level, they don't necessarily want to let it go. They don't want to necessarily elevate other women to get to that level. And it's just really sad.
But isn't that discriminatory towards those women that you see, or And it's
Correct.
unfortunate because a woman that like a woman can be sexy. A woman can embrace that sensuality that they have and that bombshell vibe and still be an empowered woman, still be an intelligent woman. And I feel like
Totally.
it's almost discriminatory towards a woman that it really is just a bombshell. Because honestly, I'm glad that, for example, Catriona Gray won because she was so sexy.
Yep.
Like Catriona Gray is super sexy.
Totally.
And so, you know, it's something that I feel was missing from Miss Universe IMG. Because even though I think that all of the previous winners are deserving, Catriona brought this sexiness that I hadn't seen in a winner in a long time.
Yeah, totally. I think this is where that danger lies about having an all-female panel. You know, you got that all-female panel. If they're all young, they don't necessarily want to give that, you know, to give a title and have someone else elevate above them. And then when you have the older female demographics, so it's like, oh yeah, you know what? I wish I was that when I was younger, and I'm gonna punish you because I didn't get to that level.
Right.
And they don't necessarily mean to do that. It could be quite subliminal. I am totally going to get canceled over this conversation. So before I do, I will give you my 3.
No, you can be as honest as possible.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Right. So my 3 is, my 3rd will be USA because she doesn't have to win. She's already up there.
Yeah. That's true.
My 2nd is India, and my 1st is Belgium.
See, we're so diverse. Miss Universe, please watch this video.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get like online judges. 5. We
Oh,
all
look,
have
if you
different
can,
picks. So.
right? If you can get Urvashi in as a judge, all of us are capable of being judges.
I won't say no to that.
Universe.
Yeah, I'm
Speaking
not going to
about-
say no to
yeah.
that. And I will
Speaking
say,
about-
I will have to
Go on.
celebrate the fact that a lot of us picked without even really thinking about it because it doesn't matter, but we picked women of color as, you know,
Oh yeah, I
and
just noticed.
Well, I wasn't even
And
thinking about that. Yeah.
one thing that I have to say to the pageant community, because I see you in the comments and I see you on Instagram, you need to stop saying a beautiful Black woman. She's a beautiful woman, period.
She's a beautiful woman.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't say a beautiful white woman. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So we have to stop looking at that. And I saw this very ignorant comment the other day, which is like, "Oh, IMG's not going to put 2 colored girls in the top 5," and I'm like,
Ooh.
"But they can put 4 white women? Like, what does it matter?"
What?
They'd be surprised if the top 5
goodness.
is going to be all colored women.
Right. I mean, look at us. Our picks were all colored women. So,
Yeah,
you know,
true.
I wouldn't be surprised. And it doesn't matter what color you are, as long as you are a queen that works for it, that are deserving for the crown. I don't care. You could be purple for all I care.
Yeah. Look, I'd like to think that didn't even come into a fact, you know, wasn't even a factor when we picked, because
Yeah.
I don't think it was. We just
No.
kind of
Yeah,
It wasn't.
just so happened that
Organically, yeah.
we picked. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. So before we go, let's spice up the conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
If you guys
I
don't
mean,
mind.
we haven't spiced it up enough.
Where's the
All
drama?
right.
I need drama.
There you go.
George,
So-
before you start, George, let me just say that
Go on.
for me, dressing up a colored woman
Mhm.
or a woman with more ethnicity is more special.
Or more
I'm not
melanin.
icing out- Yeah, I'm not icing out the white people or something like that.
Yeah.
But it adds more personality, you know? So
Flavor.
like I always
Right.
say to all the colored women, can we exchange skin types? Because it takes me a little while to get tan. So
Mm.
go ahead,
Variety
George.
is the spice of life. And to all those people who don't like what we're saying, well, then you can go watch another live. Bye.
Oh my god.
Don't
Oscar,
do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you wanted to get spicy, so let's go.
All right.
Numbers, bro.
So if you guys didn't notice, I was actually looking at the judges when the girls were coming right at the center front. Did you notice some of the judges are actually clapping to the delegates? I found that really, really unprofessional. Because you
Yeah.
cannot show reaction as a judge.
Right.
You have to be very neutral. And I
If you're
did
going
notice
to
some of them
clap,
clapping,
Yeah.
like smiling really
Yep.
big. Like you could actually
Yep.
tell what they were thinking.
Yeah.
I thought that was unacceptable.
Look,
Yeah.
if you're going to clap
What do
for
you think
everybody.
that? Yeah, it's
Right,
not
right.
fair. And it was
Like
like,
in
very
cheer.
apparent.
Like
Yeah.
I think
Both
they were
rounds.
Filipino, but the guys that were in the audience, they got up and clapped for every single girl in national costume.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was like, I want to be there with them
Yeah.
doing that right now.
If
Like
you're going to cheer,
Yeah.
cheer for everybody.
everybody, yeah. Especially if you're a judge. And did you
Yeah.
notice who they were clapping for?
Yep.
Who were they?
Spill the tea.
Yeah.
Spill the tea. We're drinking.
Okay,
it.
Morocco. Did you see that? They were clapping for Morocco.
I
And
noticed
Bahrain.
Morocco. I noticed India, and it sounds really like negative for me to say, but it was Urvashi. She was clapping for India twice in both of the rounds. And I thought,
Who was
that
this?
is
Well, look,
Urvashi.
she never used to vote for
Oh.
other Miss Indias
It was-
before, so she
yeah,
kind
but
of
it's-
owes them.
It kind of looks biased because that's your country person.
It
Like,
does,
yes,
yeah.
of course we can support, but like don't show it. There were like
Right.
a lot of memes online already. It's only been 12 hours since the
Yeah.
film finished. She's going viral on TikTok because that's unacceptable. You cannot do that as a judge.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like literally, like it was like around, and I was like, dude, you cannot do that. You're not a judge. You need to sit down. Like even if you're super happy, just give the scores. You don't have to react. I think that is just something I just didn't expect a judge to act like that.
Well, I'm happy that one of the judges smiled when Miss Kenya came out of the swimsuit and evening gown, and she was very consistent. And I'm happy because Rosh loves this judge, and when she mentioned that to me before going into preliminaries, I said, okay, if you love that judge, make a small talk, say hi, greet to her. And I said, okay, even to Marian Rivera, just tell her, you know what, Marian, we have a Filipino connection, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just happy that I don't like the reaction of the judges, but for me, who's working inside with an organization, it kind of like gives me a sort of a relief that somehow they are showing approval to our contestant. Because like I always say, and I pray to God, like, Lord, why am I partnered with countries who's not even getting fair treatment? It's always about the countries that we're talking about. And the reason why I was giggling and happy that you all guys all mentioned Kenya is because finally big vloggers like you guys are supporting the candidates that I am supporting. And it really matters, it really matters. So looking at the judge smiling may be bad for some, but for me, who's working closely with an organization, it means a lot.
I get that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
I
get
hope
that.
that they don't next time. But yeah.
And I wanted to say real quick, because I don't want people to hate me. I'm sorry, Luis. I was joking when I said if you don't like what you're saying, you can go somewhere else. Honestly, I don't get paid for what I do with my page. I don't get paid for anything. I do it because I'm a fan, like the people that have opinions in the comment section.
Yeah.
My opinion counts just as much as yours do, as long as it's said respectfully. And I think that we all have been respectful.
Right.
So with that said, I just wanted to let you know, let's just exchange opinions respectfully and just that's it. Like, we don't know. I'm saying who I liked, but that doesn't mean that that's gonna win. That's who's gonna win on Sunday. Because
That's true.
I'm not Nostradamus, so I don't know.
Yes, I do have a question, you guys. I would like to just throw it out there because I'm keeping an eye on the chat on the live stream, and I feel like most people want us to address Thailand and Philippines. So let's give the audience what they want before we end this.
All right.
What is your guys' impression of Thailand and Philippines? I will tell before we get into it. I have not watched yet.
So many Filipino audiences.
Oh yeah, we have 1,000 people watching.
I haven't watched the national costume, so I will not give my input yet about that. But you guys, what do you think about Thailand? Let's start with her.
I like her.
Yes.
I think she's great. I mean, yes, there's a reason I didn't put her for the swimsuit because I thought her energy was lacking a little bit. I'm here for her advocacy. I absolutely support her. I've been supporting her since the national pageant. I think real size beauty is such an important and relevant topic to talk about, especially in countries like Thailand where the beauty standard is a size 0 and you need to look a certain way. And I'm so happy she's breaking the beauty standards and creating an impact and influencing people. So that way, I absolutely am in love with Thailand. But the swimsuit was not my favorite. The gown, I did like it. She was part of my top 10. And like I said, she looks like an Oscars. And for me, that's a winner, baby. Oscar award, a golden award. So I love Thailand. I think she's absolutely fantastic. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
also,
honestly,
Philippines, I completely forgot. Philippines,
Yeah.
she did good. I like Philippines. I think Philippines is a strong contender. I just hope she gets a different gown for the final because I thought it was too simple for the Miss Universe pageant. But that's what
I agree. And have in mind that we only talked about our top 10 performance-wise. If I were to do a top 16 right now, I would include Philippines and Thailand.
Correct.
And
Same.
Oh, yeah, they're
when
always
I
there.
yeah, when I say I'm gonna make a top 16, I don't know who's gonna win. I'm not gonna pick a top 5 and say this girl's gonna win. I actually say honestly, any of the top 16 have the potential to take the crown.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
Yeah.
if they're finalists, it's because we see something in them that is good enough to win the Miss Universe crown. And I can, with security, say that Philippines and Thailand were in my top 16 today.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, same here. And I'm also reading at the chat, like, wow, there's a lot of people. So there are Cebuanos or Bisaya. So sa mga tanan Bisaya na nagtanaw, hello. So yeah,
Maayong
ayong buntag.
buntag.
Still buntag. Yeah. So
My family's from Davao City, so
oh yeah, so you can understand.
I
Yeah.
should understand.
Okay. So Bea is very close to my heart because she's Cebuana, and when she won Miss Universe Philippines, I felt like that the Lord impressed to my heart that the winner will not be a pageant veteran. And true enough, they crowned Bea, and I'm not surprised that she's representing us now. So you ask us about Philippines, so okay, I will not be surprised that she's gonna be there, but I know that she still has a lot to give. And Bea is that kind of candidate. Like most of the comments are like, she's like the finals night kind of girl. She has that finals night magic, and I feel like when she makes it to the top 16, she can carry us over to the top 5. And I'm really excited with her evening gown. Her evening gown earlier today was a little bit simple. It was sleek, but I feel like I know that they can have another evening gown option. The national costume was so amazing. Really new for a Filipino kind of national costume. And then for Thailand, I love the evening gown. Anjali is still a perfect choice for Miss Universe Thailand to represent Thailand, and I know that she did well in the interview. I just hope though that the judges understands her advocacy and what she's representing.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, because but I wish though, George, if I be honest, I wish that Anjali chose the best gown for prelims, rather than what she wore yesterday. I don't think it was flattering on her body type. Yeah, and the camera angles didn't do justice on her too. She had a poor swimsuit choice. I feel like it would have been better if she had another swimsuit choice than what she wore yesterday. And the camera angles was just too low. It didn't, highlight or showcase her beautiful figure the way Miss Universe Thailand did during the national pageant. So that's my take. But I wouldn't be surprised if she makes it to the top 16 as well. So
I'm pretty confident she will make it. Just based on advocacy, I'm very confident. I mean, we all know that Madam Pola, loves Thailand. I mean, if they really want to come back to Thailand, she has to make it to the top 16. Because let's be honest, Thailand gives you the best
No
production.
pressure.
No pressure, but we all know that Thailand gives the best production. Look at MGI if you disagree. And also MU 2018 was, like a lot of people say, it's the best edition of Miss Universe, production-wise. So Thailand gets that's not even a question, guys. She is gonna place. It's just a question of will she win? That is the real question. But she's definitely gonna place. What do you think, Lewis?
When it comes to Thailand, I align a little bit more with Gian, with what he said. Not necessarily. I mean, I was not crazy about the gown. That's like the first thing. Just like the gown itself, I thought I was expecting more. When I think of Thailand, I think of even like the national competition, and they had a level of production, the gowns, everything was like so huge and out there that I was like hoping for that. And I also felt like Anjali, because she has this, such empowering message. I really wanted her to bring like a lot of confidence to this stage of Miss Universe, and I felt like the confidence was not there 100%. She looked beautiful, and I feel like her message is very, very important right now.
Yep.
and because of that, I hope to see her within the top 16. But I feel like she is not giving us 100% just yet. I know that she can do
Yeah.
better than this because I've seen better than this already from her.
Right.
But
You
very
know what,
solid.
Lois? I
Yeah.
think Anne just needs to eat some chilies because her name is actually Anne Chili. If she just has some green chili to get that fire on her butt, to just give that energy, I'm pretty sure she's gonna have like a handful of chilies in the final night. And I hope she does that because that's my girl and I really want her to do well. So eat some
Someone,
chilies, girl.
someone bring her the chilies. I'm
Yeah.
rooting for her. I
Yeah.
love her. I've been covering her on my channel as well, and I really hope that she's able to, just whatever is going on, get it together and just put it out there because her message is so important. If she's able to
I
really
agree.
just look more confident and like just own it,
Yeah.
like she's gonna have so much impact. When it comes to Philippines, a lot of people asking me about Philippines. Obviously, I've been following Bea since the Miss Universe Philippines days, and quite frankly, I'm very happy with Bea's performance. And I know a lot of people are saying she looked very calm, she looked very this. But what I'm gonna tell you is that Bea, that is her personality. If you expect Bea to come out
Yeah, I agree.
doing the absolute most like twirls and whatever and
Yeah.
tricks and that, it's gonna look fake. Bea is a calm person. That is her aura. And what I hope is that the judges, that's what they're looking for, you know? Because if that's what they're looking for, she will definitely place. I see her already within the top 16 for sure.
Yep.
But the top 10 or top 5 is really going to depend of what the judges are looking for.
Before.
I was happy with the gown. I thought it was beautiful. But in my opinion, it was too similar to her preliminary gowns for Miss Universe Philippines. Uh, and I think that perhaps like the international fans who didn't follow the national pageant in the Philippines don't know that. But both gowns are pretty similar. I wanted a little bit more of surprise when it comes to that. But I think that other than that, her styling is good, and she is honestly just being true to herself. So I'm happy with that. I cannot criticize her for that. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's so unbothered, and that's what I like about
so unbothered.
Bea because when I checked her Instagram account, she really did not allow the whole system to dictate her Instagram posts, right?
Oh,
And if
at
you can
all.
check it, she barely had any OOTD. She was really in the moment. And I feel like that's what Bea is doing right now. She's very strategic. She's in the moment. She's like absorbing it in, enjoying it. And what we saw yesterday was just really a fresher, unbothered Bea. Because like if you're a Miss Philippines, you have so much weight on your shoulders. And we saw that in Rabia, right, last year. So but with Bea now, she was just like, "Hey, I'm here at Miss Universe. I'm here to have fun. I'm enjoying, and I'm also competing." And she gave it that. She gave us that last night. So, but I know that she has more to give when she makes it to the top 16. So,
Yes.
All right. So guys, we have been talking for almost 2 hours. So
oh my
if
god,
there's
yeah,
any we have been so fun. Like we have been so in the moment. So if you guys have any last moment message you want to say to Miss Universe organization or to the girls, anything you would like to say, please say. Starting with Mr. Peter.
Okay, well, look, I think carrying on to what you guys have said, just my thoughts on Thailand and Philippines. I think both women have a very important message and they definitely need to be heard. I think before that message needs to be heard, you need to be noticed. That's just the way pageants work, right?
Yep.
Um, Thailand's message is very timely. I think if I'm going to listen to anybody talk about body positivity, I'm going to listen to someone who actually has curves like
Yep.
Thailand, right?
exactly.
I'm not going to listen
That's
to
it.
some skinny girl talk to me
Absolutely.
about body positivity. Come on.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so I actually want Thailand to do well also because we have that Australian connection with Anjali, right? So if we're not going to get Australia up there, I'm hoping you get it, girl. Um, so I think the only concern that I have there is I'm hoping that she does make to the top 16. When you compare her to the other girls, I was judging based on energy. And I was judging based on, that energy and that oomph, on stage. And I was really rooting for her to come out with that. So I'm hoping she does make top 16. And if you're listening, please take that on board. Just get that energy up and running, because you are good enough to be on that stage, just like all the other girls that make it up there.
Yep.
You are good enough. So I've got my fingers crossed. With Bea, I will say this about Philippines. She is probably one of my most favorite Miss Philippines in a long time. She came out of nowhere and beat the absolute favorites for the Miss Universe Philippines
Yeah.
competition.
Mhm.
That says a lot about you as a competitor. Um, so I think she could be a very safe bet for the top 16. If she makes it through further than that, watch out. She could be the silent killer of this competition. Her styling this year for the preliminaries was not my favorite. Her gown, I didn't mind. I think it was just the whole hair thing. I think we could have done better with this. But I actually believe that Philippines could definitely be the silent killer in this
Yeah.
competition. So if she makes
Right.
it through to the top 10, um, be very all the other girls better watch out. The my picks for this particular live stream was just based on the preliminary performances. So
Yes.
yep, Belgium was my favorite, absolutely. USA, loved her, loved Spain and all of that, but it could be anybody's game for finals night. And I will say that watch out for the Philippines if she makes it through to the top 10. If she did that to the favorites, she could do it again.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
and the clear front runners now, Peter, are actually not front runners.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and
Yep.
you've been
Yep.
talking about the least favorite contestants like this whole 2 hours. So, yeah.
hmm Yeah. You know what? She could bring it. And, the finals, if you make it through to the top 10, if you bring it there, that's what matters. It could completely change what we have chosen for the preliminaries. So
Yep.
I still believe in Bea. I believe in you. I love your message. I also love your message, Anne. You two are the strongest in Southeast Asia, as far as I'm concerned, and you go up there and represent us Southeast Asians. So go for it. Go
Yes,
for it.
please. Oh my gosh,
Love
yeah.
that. I love that.
So,
So, guys,
close this now,
yeah.
George.
Yes, I need to close the chat. We've been talking for 2 hours, and I need to have my breakfast. My belly literally like growled. But
Yeah,
we're
'cause I
like
think
talking.
we're
So
also like in an hour. So yeah.
yeah. So in the end, guys, do let me know down below who stood out to you during the preliminary. And once again, like Peter said, our top 10 were only based during the preliminary performance. Okay, so this is not our top final prediction. Just want to make it clear. Just because they're not part of our top 10 doesn't mean they were not part of our favorite or part of our prediction. Just want to make that completely clear. And yeah, I had a really good time. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I
Thank
hope you had a
you.
good time. And
Thank you, George.
ending line, Mr. Peter, where can our followers find you on social media so they can follow you?
You can find me on the Pageant Institute on Instagram as well as on Facebook. So that's the Pageant Institute.
Wonderful. Lewis, where can our, well, you're already famous, but still do tell me about your social media platform. Where can our followers follow you?
You guys can find me on YouTube as Luis Perteles, just like you can see on the screen. You can find me on Facebook as Luis Perteles and Instagram as Luis Perteles. So everywhere, Luis Perteles.
Yes. And last but not the least, Gian, where can our followers or viewers follow you on social media?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Gian Lasala, but I'm more active on TikTok with the same handle. Again, George, like I mentioned earlier, we have plans on my YouTube channel. If I don't get busier with work because we're transitioning with the company. And yeah, it was fun doing this. See you online on Instagram if you want to talk to me, but I'm more active on TikTok. So
We are going to talk. We will
Oh, yeah.
talk.
We will
Let's
talk.
do it.
Don't worry.
We will
Just-
talk.
And I just
Okay,
want to say
we'll
before we
talk
go,
later.
guys, I appreciate all of you for taking the time, to do this. And it's always a pleasure to talk to all of you.
Oh, Lewis, I'm such a
Always.
fan now. You have just gained a new fan with me. I can tell. I can listen to you all day.
I agree.
Yeah. Such a sweetheart. So, guys, I'm gonna end the live. We'll be, like I said, 2 hours, quite a long. Thank you so much for joining us. We had actually
Thank you,
quite a lot of
George.
people joining, around 1,000 we were watching. So, thank you so much for
Wow.
joining. And comment below, like I said, your favorites for the 70th Miss Universe pageant. So, goodbye from Thailand. Bye bye.
Bye.